That's good. All right, well, good morning, everyone. It feels like it's been a while since we've done one of these, but we are back, and we're starting off with the big one. The Battle at the Border Tournament, hosted by Landrum High School this year. Its 21st annual iteration, coming to you with 4 games today, 4 games tomorrow, and 4 games on December 30th. 12 total basketball games to round out 2020 for you all. Hi, I'm Luke Ruff here for District 1 Athletics, ready to stream this tournament, and it is going to be an absolute titan. 3 days, 12 games, like I said. I believe 6 different schools participating. Today we've got 4 games slated. We're going to start out, 4 games slated, 10 a.m. tip-off between Landrum and Powdersville, and at 12:30, Woodruff is going to take on Spartanburg Christian Academy. Then we're going to have a lunch break, and at 3 p.m., Boiling Springs is going to tip off against Riverside, and then at 5:30, Landrum is going to tip off against Chapman in their second game of the afternoon. Now, note about those second 2 games. These first 2 are taking place on the Landrum High School Athletics channel. The afternoon games, those being Boiling Springs versus Riverside and Landrum versus Chapman, are going to take place on the Chapman High School Athletics channel. We're running some analytic tests on there, just seeing if either channel gets more views than the other for basketball games. That'll be helpful to us moving forward. But for now, just note, the first 2 games, the 10 a.m. tip-off and 12:30 tip-off, are going to be on this channel. And the last 2 games, the 3 p.m. tip-off and the 5:30 p.m. tip-off, are going to be on Chapman's channel. I highly encourage you to go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell on both of those so you get all of our notifications and are notified when we go live with new events. The clock in the arena here has it at 5:40. Should be tipping off, I would imagine, a moment or so earlier than that. Unfortunate note here, we are a little bit short-handed up in the booth today, so we're not going to have a running clock on the stream. I will do my best to keep you posted on the time, though. Should be noted that, although I have not seen any odds on high school basketball tournaments, Landrum is coming into this game at 5-1. Powdersville enters at 2-3 on the season. Got the rules in front of me here. We can go over those in the meantime. There is no bracket for this tournament. Again, 4 games over 3 days, 4 games a day over 3 days. Every team plays 3 times. So without a bracket, we're going to have to go to what are essentially tiebreakers to crown a champion. First obviously is the record. If one team emerges with a better record than the others, say one goes 3-0 and all the others go 2-1 or 1-2, then the 3-0 team will win. If not, and 2 or more teams have the same record, we'll go to the second tiebreaker. That's point differential. Whoever scored the most points and allowed the least points will be crowned the champion. Then head-to-head versus common opponents who did better against 2. And if they're somehow still tied after that, we'll go to point differential in the first half of all 3 games. And if teams are somehow tied after all that, they will be crowned co-champions. And at that point, they will have all earned it. Now, one other thing to note, this is actually a 2-sided tournament. The Battle at the Border tournament is being played here at Landrum High School for the boys bracket, and the girls bracket is being played at Landrum Middle School. Now, due to technical limitations at that venue, as it stands right now, 9:55 a.m. on December 28th, 2020, it is not looking like we are going to be able to stream from Landrum Middle School. We are looking into that, but as of right now, we do not think that Landrum Middle has the hookups we need to be able to stream games from there. So until further notice, the next 2 days of the tournament, the 29th and the 30th, are all going to cover the boys' side of the bracket. But we will keep you posted on the girls' side of the bracket as well. Theirs actually is a bracket. They have games tipping off at the exact same time as the boys, December 28th. Yep. 10 a.m., SCA tips off against Blue Ridge, then Burns goes against High Point at 12:30. Riverside takes on Woodruff at 3 p.m., and to finish the girls bracket off today, Landrum takes on Chapman at 5:30. About 2.5 minutes of warm-ups left. I recommend that you go ahead and grab something warm, bundle up a little bit, and settle down. We've got a long day of basketball ahead of us. 4 games slated to tip off here today, and 8 more in the coming days. All right, and we are set and ready for tip. Up, and of course the camera froze right as it happened, but Landrum won that tip, drove straight down to the goal, and did not get it in. Now Powdersville has it. They're scanning the area. Sending it inside, now back, and that was shot. And hang on, we're still having issues. Landrum has it now, still no points on the board, and with a free shot, that is number 15, Spencer Harmon, sinking it without an issue. Landrum goes up 3-0. Powdersville driving inside, now flipping it back. Still flirting around that three-point line, now driving inside, shooting, and no good from the free throw line. Rebounded by Landrum. This is Cooper Gentry heading down the court, flips it over to Noah Weiss. Now Weiss trying to find an opening, sends it over to Mason Raines, and now Weiss again trying to find something. They send it inside and they've got it. Landrum goes up 5-0. Not sure what's happening with the video feed here. We are working on it. Until then, Powdersville still trying from the paint. They have not gotten anything going in there today. They are able to rebound this one and they lose the handle on it. We'll see which way they rule it. All right, I am not sure how or why our video equipment can fail so spectacularly at such inopportune times, but fingers crossed, it looks like we may have it sorted out now. While we were in that intermission, Landrum extended their lead out to 6. It is 8-2. Mason Raines looking for an opening. Sends it over to Gentry, who gets it over to Isaiah Washington, and now still looking for an opening. Gentry had that pass batted and now gets it over to Washington. And that was Mason Raines with a huge three-point shot. Landrum goes up 11-2, and I think Powdersville took a timeout. All right, so now the Patriots going to look for some kind of offensive momentum. Flip it out to Jack Hurst. He's looking for an opening. Now getting it over to number 20 listed on the roster. There is a 4. Jack Hardy drives inside, and he cannot notch points. Back over to the Cardinals. This is Washington flipping it over. Spencer Harmon drove it inside, and it looks like Landrum was able to come down with that one. 13-2, Landrum up by 11. Hardy sending it inside, now back to the outside. This is Hurst for three, and Hurst can't connect, but it's rebounded by Powdersville. That was Camden Schroyer. Rebounded it, but then lost his handle on it. Landrum gets it back. Raines flips it over. That's Ethan Dugat trying to shoot, can't connect. Rebounded by Powdersville. Schroyer flips it over to Hardy. Hardy wants to drive inside, can't get there, and gets fouled. Possession's going to stay with Powdersville, and Landrum going to make a lot of substitutions here. Really doesn't look like Powdersville subbed anybody in. So vastly different personnel grouping here. We'll see if that influences anything. The starters for Landrum were doing quite well. Jack Hardy still on the hunt for an opening. Leaving a little bit of clock. 3 minutes to go, or 3.5 minutes to go, I should say, in the first period. Landrum doing an excellent job of guarding that three-point line. Now Hardy drives it inside, and they've got an open man behind the line. Shot is up. No, that was Jacob Moore. Couldn't connect. Rebounded by Landrum. This is Raines flipping it over to Washington. Washington gets it over to Dugat. Now to Raines for three. Just off the rim is Mason Raines, rebounded by Troyer of the Patriots. Under 3 minutes to go now. Troyer drives inside, loses his handle on it, gets it to Moore. Now Hardy driving in and runs straight into Dugat. And they're going to call that a foul against Powdersville. Landrum's going to get the ball. Washington to check in. Flips it over to Mason Raines. Now Raines back over to Washington. Now going inside, and that was Marco Gonzalez trying to get it to Noah Weiss, and Gonzalez sent it out of bounds. Moore will check in for the Patriots. Still 13-2 in favor of Landrum. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the opening period. Camden Troyer trying to find an open man, gets it over to Moore, and Moore, I think he was trying to send that one over to number 50 and had that one batted away. Powdersville will retain possession. Troyer again. Now, oh, they tried to get it to Moore, and Moore went inside too early. Now he ends up with it. And back to Troyer. Powdersville trying to set up some kind of play. I don't think it worked out quite how they wanted it to. We'll go forth with the ball, singing it inside to Moore, and Moore's got some more points for Powdersville. Lead goes back down to 9. Gonzalez with the ball now, sending it down the field to Duggett. Duggett sends it over to Weiss, and now airmailing it across the court, trying to set up Raines for three. Can't get it. Raines tried to go inside to Duggett. Whistle was blown, and they're going to say Duggett was fouled. No foul shots coming up. Mason Raines to check in for the Cardinals. And looks like we got a late substitution, at least on the radar. Duggett sends it over to... That's Gonzalez now with the ball. Driving inside, tries to flip it out. Now back to Duggett. Getting it over to Gonzalez. Still looking for an opening. Might have Weiss. Going to drive inside, and no, gets it back to the outside. Raines gets it to Duggett, who tries to box the man out. Can't connect. And Landrum at least thinks he should have been fouled. And it looks like he was. 1:12 left to go in the first period. Landrum has a chance to extend their lead out to 11 once more. That's the biggest it's been all game. Shot number 1 is off the mark. And there's that substitution for Landrum. Mason Raines checks out. That is Jake Ballou entering the game in his place, number 12. And shot number 2 for Duggett is good. (14-4) in favor of the Cardinals. Troyer drives inside and then flips it out. And it's taken away by Noah Weiss. Has a free lane, and he's got the layup. Lead goes out to 12 for Landrum. Under a minute to go. Powdersville looking for an opening. Moore flips it over to Troyer. Now Troyer gets it to the bank. Still on the hunt, and I didn't see the signal there. Looks like they're going to get Powdersville for traveling. Number 20 was called for the foul. Again, no number 20 on the roster I received. We'll work on getting a name there. Until then, Patrick Clark trying to get this one across half court for the Cardinals. Flips it over to Gonzalez. And now Gonzalez just driving, sends it over to Gentry, who flips it to the outside. This is Jake Ballou going for 3 and cannot connect. Just off the mark was Ballou. That one definitely had a shot. And Troyer actually looked straight up and eyed the scoreboard. I think Powdersville is just going to try to bleed out the clock. And nope, now Troyer drives inside, flipping it over to number 50. Now 50 going for the long shot, and there's a tussle for it. It's eventually brought back in by Moore of the Patriots. He flips it up and is able to get some much-needed points right before the end of the first period. So after the first 8 minutes, Landrum is up 16-6 over Powdersville. Back in a moment. All right, and we've got whistles at the start of the second period. Powdersville at least did have the ball, and they will retain possession. Camden Troyer checking in, sending it over. That's Jack Hurst. Powdersville moving with a lot more urgency now, and Hurst for the long 2 can't connect. Rebounded by Powdersville. 50 goes up, and he's got it and was fouled. Powdersville with an opportunity to notch a 3rd point here. Number 50 to shoot. And that shot is right down the road. Absolutely perfect. The lead is all the way down to 7 after Landrum had it at 11 at one point. But this is Mason Raines, and he had a good first period shooting from the 3-point line. Hasn't been able to capitalize on it since. Powdersville driving inside off the backboard, and this one's going to go to Landrum. Number 23 will go forth there with the shot. This is Washington trying to find the opening. Now just going to do it himself, going straight inside, and I think he faked everybody out, but the shot just off the mark, rebounded by Powdersville, and we've got whistles. We'll see who they call this against. I think they're going to say Washington is the man to blame there, so Powdersville will hang on to the ball. Powdersville has done a lot of movement around that three-point line, but we have not seen many three-point attempts. They've been quite content to try and drive inside. And they have been able to get a good many fouls doing that. That's Landrum's 5th foul of the game. Camden Troyer to shoot now. And shot number 1 is off the mark. 6:48 left to go in the second period. Shot number 2 is good. Powdersville cracks double digits, and Landrum making quick work of getting across half court. Washington going to try to do it himself, and he sent it out of bounds. Or I guess they'll say it was knocked out of his hand. They're going to give this back to Landrum. Washington, had that one batted too, and it's recovered by Powdersville. This is Moore heading down, almost lost it, and somehow stays upright. Goforth tried to drive inside, or no, that was not Goforth, that was 22. And 22 was fouled. Powdersville with an opportunity for more foul shots. They can bring this one all the way within 4. The lead was as high as 11 for Landrum at one point. Shot number 1 is good. And shot number 2 is good as well. Landrum making another substitution. Spencer Harmon enters the game, along with Ethan Duggett. This is Harmon trying to find an opening, sent it straight inside and has it batted away. Brought back in by Powdersville, and now Powdersville driving inside. Troyer sets it up to 22, almost had it stolen. Now back to Troyer, and gets it from right underneath the goal. Nice shot there by Camden Troyer. Lead is down to 2 points with 6 minutes left to go in the second period. Cooper Gentry trying to make something happen. Gets it back over to Washington. Washington going aggressive. And Harmon wasn't ready for it. And you can hear that Powdersville sideline. They are excited now. With a chance to tie or take the lead with a 3-point shot, and they're going to get 50 for traveling. Landrum's going to get the ball. Both teams at 6 fouls each. And Washington just going to take the 3-point shot. Could not connect. Rebounded by number 50. They'll flip it back over to Troyer, now to Moore. And Moore wanted to go for that 3-pointer. Didn't have the chance. Now back to Moore. Can he get the 3-pointer this time? No. Off the rim into the arms of Hurst. And it's rebounded by Troyer, and we got a tied game. Landrum takes their first timeout. Powdersville has come all the way back. 5:04 left to go in the second period, down by 11. They have gotten this one tied up at 16. Landrum looking for answers. So here we go. We'll see what Landrum drew up there, if anything. I imagine that was mostly just motivational. Set that fire underneath the feet of the players in one way or another. They certainly had it in the first period, and Powdersville seems to have taken it since. Now driving inside. Not sure if they lost their handle on the ball, and they lose it that time. Couldn't get it to Duggett. Now Moore driving inside. Backs off of Washington and sinks that one. Powdersville with their first lead of the game. Up by 2 with 4.5 minutes to go in the first half. Washington going to drive inside, and he's got the game tied up again, 18-18 now. And man, what a play by Mason Raines to steal that one away, and runs right into Troyer. Landrum could not keep it in bounds. Or no, yeah, the referees are discussing this one. It looked to me like the Cardinal player just kind of stepped out as he was putting that ball back into play. Clock is stopped at 4:17. And it's looking like this one's going to stay with Landrum. Indeed it is. Washington to check in. Both teams still at 6 fouls, sending it straight inside to Duggett, and Duggett got fouled. Duggett 1 for 2 on foul shots so far. Oh, Dugat, excuse me. Make it 2 for 3. Shot number 1 is good. Landrum has the lead once more. Looking to extend it to 2. Another substitution for the Cardinals. Cooper Gentry comes out of the game. He is replaced by Marco Gonzalez. Shot number 2 is good for Dugat as well. Landrum back up by 2 points, 20-18. Camden Troyer trying to find an opening, motioning some of his players to come forward. Now does it himself, flips it over to 22. Now over to Hurst for 3, and Hurst was just off the rim. Rebounded by Noah Weiss. Weiss flipped it over to Washington. Now Washington going to drive inside himself, and he's got it. 22-18. Landrum back out by 4. Under 4 minutes to go. 3:39 the official count. Troyer driving inside, runs right into Dugat. And the Landrum bench seems quite satisfied with the outcome there. No points on the board. And another foul notched onto the total for Powdersville. So Landrum is in the bonus. 3:34 left to go. Clock is running. Washington taking his time. And thought about going for the 3 for just a second. That freed him up enough to get it to Dugat. Now Dugat tried to airmail it over to Raines, and that one was all but picked off there, and still going, taken back by Landrum. Dugat flips it over to Washington, who drives inside, rolling around, and he's got it. Landrum up by 6. 24-18, under 3 minutes to go now. And Troyer for 3, no, off the back of the rim. And what a rebound there by Noah Weiss. That was impressive. He got some hang time on that one. Washington now looking for an opening, driving inside, and tried to get over to Dugat. Had that one batted away and taken by Goforth. He flips it over to Jack Hardy. And Jack Hardy from the free throw line, no, short, but rebounded by Troyer, and he can't connect. He rebounds it again and still can't sink it. And he got fouled on that second one, so that'll be Landrum's 7th foul. 2:15 left to go. Powdersville with an opportunity to push the lead back down to 4. And shot number 1 is on the money. That was textbook. Substitution for Powdersville. Number 20 exits the game. Number 3, Jacob Moore, enters in his place. And shot number 2 is good as well. Powdersville is over 20 now. Closing in on 2 minutes to go. Washington no good from the free throw line, rebounded by Jack Hurst of the Patriots. Flips it over to 22, now back over to Jacob Moore, who drives inside, gets it over to, I believe that was Goforth, with an excellent shot from inside the paint. 24-22, Powdersville creeping back up on that lead. And looked like a little setup play for Washington, well guarded by the Patriots. Now this is Mason Rains trying to find an opening. Escapes a trap block. Now flips it over to Washington for three. No. Just off the rim, but it's rebounded by Harmon. And I think that was Noah Weiss. No, Marco Gonzalez driving inside. Could not connect. But he'll get at least one shot. Yep. He'll have a chance to stretch this to a 3-point lead here. This is Powdersville's 9th foul of the half. And the shot is no good. And 3-man substitution for the Patriots. Gonzalez has one more shot left. Michael Haley has entered the game along with 2 unlisted players as being number 34 and number 50. Jack Hurst is listed on the roster, number 4, trying to find an opening, maybe burning some clock here. Under 80 seconds to go in the first half. Powdersville only down by 2. Haley now flips it over to 50, who thought about driving inside, now back to Hurst. Oh, and Moore is all alone and cannot sink it. Rebounded by Mason Rains, who makes Moore miss. A little juke move there from Rains, and he flips it over to Harmon, who gets it to Washington. Now Washington going to drive inside. He can't connect. Rebounded by Jack Hurst. And nice defensive play there by Gonzalez. Tried to make a case there. He was saying that 50 touched it on the way out, and it looks like the referees agree with him. So Landrum's going to get possession. 46.4 seconds to go in the half. Gonzalez checks into Washington. Washington now back to Gonzalez. Harmon driving inside, tried to split 2 defenders and ran right into both of them. Lost his handle on the ball. And they're going to, yep, Harmon was fouled. So Landrum in the double bonus now. 10 fouls on the board for Powdersville. Harmon's going to have 2 shots. 34.7 seconds to go. Shot number 1 is good. Lead goes out 3. To make it a 2-possession game. And Spencer Harmon's shot is good. 26-22. Clock begins at 34 seconds. Now under 30 as Jacob Moore tries to find an open spot in that defense. And I think we got a timeout called, yep, by the Powdersville bench. 26 seconds on the clock now. All right, and Landrum headed back out onto the court. Powdersville, they're not in frame, but they are definitely drawing something up. I can tell they've got the whiteboard out, using every second of that 30-second limit. Again, 10 fouls on the board here for Powdersville. Lead is at 4 for Landrum, but they are in the double bonus now. Powdersville is Jack Hurst now, taking his time, under 20 seconds to go. He might be on some kind of timer here. So yep, right as it hit 15, he drives inside, and from just inside the 3-point line, he's no good. It's eventually rebounded by the Cardinals. Under 10 to go. Washington flips it over to Harmon, over to Dugat, and that one is tipped up, and Gentry just going to heave it. No. Had the accuracy, but didn't have enough air under it. And that will be the end of the first half, an exciting one. Lots of points, lots of defense, and a lead, an 11-point lead, yeah, that Landrum lost and then has started to get back. Ever since Powdersville tied this game back up at 16 a few minutes ago, these two have been back and forth. 26-22 as we enter the half, back in 10 minutes. Just a quick heads up for those of you still tuned in, you're probably going to notice the stream freeze up here for a few minutes. That is just us restarting our equipment to make sure we are ready to go for the second half. All right, it looks like we are back. Got about 100 seconds until the clock in the arena expires. Both teams are huddled up, so I imagine they're going to start a bit earlier than that. Stay posted, though. Second half action coming up in just a moment. Landrum up by 4, 26-22. Yep, and it looks like we are going to get started a few seconds early. Cooper Gentry checking in to Washington, Isaiah Washington. And he flips it over to Spencer Harmon. Now inside to Ethan Dugat, and not the way Landrum drew up the start of the second half. Off the hands of Dugat and out of bounds. Powdersville will take over. Powdersville flipping this one around, trying to find an opening. This is go forth, and he got fouled. Powdersville will hang on to the ball. Still looking around for an opening. Jacob Moore going to try to do it. Oh, what a shot! That was gorgeous. What a way to draw it within a one-possession game. Wow. Washington flipping it over to Spencer Harmon, now to Dugat. Dugat now to Gentry from inside the three-point line. No, rebounded by, looks like Jack Hurst. And now Powdersville with the ball. Go forth sets a block for Hurst. Inside the three-point line, that shot is no good. Right at the same position as Gentry, except this one is rebounded by Powdersville. Oh, and 20 is all alone, and he's got it. 2 huge three-point shots back-to-back. 6 unanswered to start the second half, and Powdersville has retaken the lead. Still just a one-possession game. Cooper Gentry flips it over to Harmon, who flips it to Washington. Now Washington driving inside, navigates some defenders, and didn't make it. And they're going to say he was fouled. So now Isaiah Washington with a chance to tie the game up. .6:28 to go in what has already been an exciting third period. Shot number 1 is no good for Washington. Substitution for Powderville. Hurst exits the game and number 50 enters. Shot number 2 is good. Lead goes out to 3, or no. Yep, 28-27 in favor of Powdersville. Landrum still down by 1. And oh! Powdersville lucky to hang on to that one. Oh, not for much longer. I was about to say they passed that one, nobody home, then passed it again, lost it, and it looks like Spencer Harmon might have been fouled there. And indeed he was, so Powdersville aggressive on the defensive side of the ball again. Landrum hit the double bonus in that first half. I believe Powdersville fouled them 11 times. Shot number 1 is no good, so the strategy at least looks to be paying off for now. 6:08 to go in the third period at least. Harmon with a chance still to tie the game up, only down by 1. And he's got this one, 28-28. Jacob Moore gets it over to Camden Traylor. He had a very busy first half. And go forth from underneath the goal, can't connect. And go forth was fouled. And Will Goforth's first shot is off the mark. Substitution for Landrum. Ethan Dugat comes out of the game. He's replaced by Noah Weiss. 5:59 to go in the third period. Goforth's second shot is on the money. Powdersville retakes the lead, up by 1. Landrum with a chance to retake the lead, under 6 minutes to go. Going inside the Weiss, now stepping behind the three-point line. That's Franklin Davis. Played a lot of JV ball so far on the active roster now. Or pardon me, that's Colby Jackson. He looks a lot like Franklin Davis. And that shot is good. Powdersville has this one tied up, 31-31. Washington trying to find an opening. Jackson drives inside, and he's got it. Back and forth we go. Landrum with the lead now. And now 20 going to drive inside for Powdersville. No fouls there. Rebounded by Landrum. I know the Powdersville bench definitely wants one. Washington drives inside, flips it over to Gentry, now over to Jackson. And Jackson gets it back to the outside with Mason Raines. And Raines throws it to nobody. Powdersville says they should get the ball. Landrum says they should get it. We'll see who they send this with. Neither coach looks too happy with the decision here. Landrum will retain possession though. And now the Cardinals making some substitutions. Jackson exits the game. Dugat re-enters. Gentry checks this one into Washington. Now Washington trying to make some men miss, driving inside, and he got fouled. Gentry takes a little practice shot. .4:35 to go in the third period. About 12 and a half minutes to go in the game as a whole. Powdersville making some more substitutions. Camden Schroyer comes out, number 50 comes in. Nice pass there from Washington. Dugat downfield, and that pass not so good. Batted up by number 20, and Dugat just fouled him. Trying to save some points there. We'll see if it pays off. 2 shots coming up. And shot number 1 is good. Powdersville draws within a point. Shot number 2 is good as well. Tied game once more, 33-33. Isaiah Washington taking this one down the court for Landrum. Approaching 4 minutes to go in the third period. Washington steps back, goes for the 3. Oh, what a shot! He drove that one in on a line. That one did not have much hang time at all, but it made it in no problem. And now number 20 with his own 3-point shot. Tied up once again. 36-36 now. Gentry trying to find an opening. And he flips it over to, that's Raines, and Raines can't connect. Rebounded by 34, flips it over to Jacob Moore. And Moore takes a step back, can't connect. Rebounded by Mason Raines. Got to get out of a block and has it stolen away. Number 20, he can't connect. Back and forth we go, and Cooper Gentry all alone, giving Landrum the lead once more. That defense looks like they just lost track of Gentry and all those turnovers. And now Powdersville back with the lead. Are you kidding me? Both teams just throwing defense to the wayside, it seems. 39-38 in favor of the Patriots. I wouldn't expect any leads to hold for long. Washington fell over, has that one taken away by Powdersville. And 20 can't extend the lead, taken back by Mason Raines. And Raines, he's all alone. Oh, and just off the mark, it's rebounded by Cooper Gentry. Flips it outside the brains. He might have a second chance. Now sending it inside. Gentry off the mark. Rebounded by number 44 Powdersville. That's Jack Hurst. And now Powdersville looking for a three-pointer. That's Haley. And Haley's shot is no good. Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the third period. Washington flips it over to Dugas, who wanted to go for three. Now Dugas gets it to Gentry. Gentry's got the three-pointer. 41-39. Under 2 minutes to go in the third period. You can feel the tension brewing in here. Oh, Mason Raines has the takeaway. Can he get that layup? No, but he got fouled. Mason Raines with a chance to get Landrum out to one of the first two possession leads for either team in a long time. He'll get two shots. That's Powdersville's fourth foul of the half. Shot number one is good. Landrum up by 3. Substitution for Powdersville. And Mason Raines' second shot is good as well. Landrum out to a 2-score lead, 44-39. 43-39, excuse me. 95 seconds are left in the third. Jacob Moore drives inside, flips it over. And now Jack Hardy going for the underhand shot, and there's a tussle for the ball, and it looked like Gonzalez might have it for a second. It's taken away by Powdersville, and 22-6, a huge three-pointer. 42-43. And Washington tried to drive inside. We'll see who they call this against. And they're going to say that Jack Hardy was at fault there. So Landrum will hang on to the ball. Gonzalez will check in. And now Gonzalez driving inside. No. And there was a tussle for it. It looked like it might have gone out of bounds for a second, but the refs let it go. Under 45 seconds now. Jack Hurst loses it. Taken in by Gonzalez. Now back over to Washington. Washington wanted to go for three. Now this is Noah Weiss driving in. And he can't connect. Bats it over, though, to Mason Raines, who sends it inside. Spencer Harmon, he's got it. 45-42. Under 20 seconds to go in the third period now. Powdersville still only down by 1 score. And it looks like Jacob Moore might be bleeding some clock here. Now gets a block from 34, driving inside. He's got it. Landrum hanging on by 1 point. Under 5 seconds, Washington's just going to heave this up. No good. And one last shot. Oh, and 34 lost his handle on it. Shades of Steve Young there. The ball just kind of fell out of his hand as he was winding up for that throw. And what a third period. Don't go anywhere, folks. We've got a wild one. Both teams screeching toward the finish line. 45-44. I've lost track of all the lead changes back in 90 seconds. All right, and here we go. 8 minutes to decide who wins this one. The first game of the boys' side of the Battle at the Border tournament, and it has already been a treat. Landrum up by 1, but both teams, they have been going back and forth and back and forth. Neither lead has been safe, and it rings true here. Powdersville retakes it, 46-45. Isaiah Washington going to try to do it himself. Now has some second thoughts, and who are they going to call this against? They're going to call this against Powdersville. So just like that, Isaiah Washington has a chance to give Landrum the lead. And Landrum's coach up in arms now. Looks like the referees changed their minds. So Landrum's going to hang on to the ball. Washington checks into Mason Raines. Now Raines looking around. And for a long three-pointer, oh, just off the mark. It would have been something if he made it. Instead, it's rebounded by the Patriots. Number 20, looking for an opening, gets it over to number 3. That's Jacob Moore, back to 20. Now 20, oh, drives inside and falls over. We got whistles. We'll see who they call this one against. And it looks like, yep, Powdersville is going to hang on to the ball here. And 22 with a long three, he's got it. Powdersville stretches the lead to 2 possessions, 49-45. Closing in on 7 minutes to go in the game. Washington with a fancy shot, can't connect. Rebounded by 50, but he stepped out of bounds. They're going to call him for traveling, but same difference. Landrum's going to get the ball on their side of the court. Now Gentry for 3. He can't connect. And jump ball, and eventually brought back in by Powdersville. Number 20 looking to make something happen. Gets it over to 22. Now 20 back inside. Oh, 34 is all alone, and he misses. Rebounded by Spencer Harmon. He gets it over to Cooper Gentry. Under 7 minutes now. Washington going to drive inside. No. Another underhanded shot goes in favor of the Patriots. It's rebounded by number 50. Looking for some space. This is Jacob Moore now. Flipping it to the outside. Still hanging around. Oh, nice block thrown there by 34. It's not enough to get another three-pointer there. And now Isaiah Washington short hops a three-point shot of his own. Brought back in by Gentry, but we got whistles. He goes for the layup shot after the fact just to build up some confidence. Maybe they'll practice shot there. And they're going to say that Gentry was fouled. So he'll have a chance to bite into this lead. That makes 7 fouls for Powdersville. And now some more substitutions. Spencer Harmon exits the game. He's replaced by Noah Weiss. And Gentry's first shot is off the mark. Brought back in by the Patriots. Under 6 minutes to go. 50, oh, lost his footing. Got a foul called against Cooper Gentry of the Cardinals, so Powdersville will hang on to this one. 5:55 to go in the game. Powdersville up by 4. And nice block there, thrown there by Weiss. Moore definitely lost his handle on it for a little while. He was able to bring it back in. And now looking around for an opening. 20 tries to drive inside, flips it over to 34. And I don't know who he was throwing that one to, but it's brought back in by Isaiah Washington. And as easy a turnover as Landrum will ever get. Can they capitalize? Not yet. Dugat rebounds it. Nope. And just like that, Powdersville has the ball right back. 2 straight shots from inside the paint. Landrum couldn't connect on either of them. Jacob Moore wanted to go for that three-pointer. Now they've got 50 all alone, and the bank shot comes up well short. Brought back in by Weiss. He gets it over to Washington. Now Washington trying to find an opening. Oh, Weiss is all alone, and he can't connect. Got whistles. I didn't see anything. Not sure what happened there, but it looks like Landrum's going to hang on to the ball. Washington airmails it, giving Dugat some space. Dugat hands it back to Washington, and Washington's just going to try to do it himself again. Now there's a scramble for the ball, and Dugat tried to save it, and eventually finds its way into the arms of Jacob Moore. Now 50. Oh, what a block there by Cooper Gentry. That was something else. And I think they're going to call. Landrum's coach definitely doesn't look happy about it. And yeah, they're going to say that was a foul. .39 to go here. And number 50's first shot is off the mark. Or no, that one goes in. No, that was a typo on my end. Powdersville does not have 4,950 points. They do crack 50 though. And shot number 2 is off the mark, rebounded by Gentry. And I'm going to have to go man the camera here for a moment. So excuse me if the scoreboard update's cut out. This is Moore trying to find an opening. Going inside, going to do it himself, sends that one up. Nope, rebounded by Gentry. And he tried to get it to Washington. There was a tussle for it, and we'll see who this one goes against. It appears, yes, that Landrum is going to hang on to the ball. That makes 9 fouls for Powdersville. And yep, here's the bonus shot coming up for Washington. .50-45. Again, can't update the scoreboard at the moment. Landrum down by 5. To draw them within 4, Washington's shot is good. 50-46. 4:13 left in the game, and a second shot coming up for Washington to make it a 1-score game. And this one is no good. And it's brought back in by the Patriots. As Camden Troyer had a very busy first period. You haven't seen much of him since, though. Jacob Moore flips it over to Hurst. Now Hurst going to drive inside. Tries from inside the paint. Nope, and rebounded by Gentry. Now Isaiah Washington making his way down the court. Going to try to do it himself, and he's got it. Lead is down to 2. Timeout taken by Landrum. 50-48. Powdersville going to check this one in with Troyer. Troyer flips it over to Hurst. Now this is Moore looking for an opening. And 20 was wide open. Nice closing speed there by Gentry. Now Hurst backing away, trying to find something. Maybe bleeding some clock here. Under 3.5 to go. And Landrum doing a much better job of guarding that three-point line, and it pays off. 20 tried to cut inside and fell out of bounds. Or no, they're going to say he was fouled. 3:19 left to go in the game. Powdersville with a chance to extend this out to 4 points. Landrum led by as much as 11 in the first period. Powdersville has done a really good job of closing the gap, and these two have been going back and forth ever since. Shot number 1 is off the mark. Both teams in the bonus now. Landrum still only down by 2. Washington trying to find some kind of opening. He's going to drive inside and has that one blocked. You can hear the Powdersville bench react to that one. That is a momentum changer. Under 3 minutes to go. 22 backing away, going for the long shot. Nope, but it's rebounded by Will Goforth and then almost taken away by Isaiah Washington. But possession will stay with Powdersville. Landrum 5-1 entering this game. Powdersville 2-3. Jack Hurst driving inside and flips it over to, that's Camden Troyer. Now Troyer's shot is no good, rebounded by Marco Gonzalez. Now Isaiah Washington trying to make something happen, flips it over to Harmon, who gets it to Dugat, who gets it to Raines. And now Raines trying to find something. Clock is running, under 2.5 minutes to go. Raines drives inside, and he got fouled hard. He ran straight into 3 or 4 defenders there for Powdersville. That shot did not have a chance, but good on Raines to be able to draw the foul there. And this shot is no good. He'll get another one, but Landrum cannot tie it up here. That was Powdersville's 10th foul of the game. They're in the double bonus now, are the Cardinals. 2:20 to go. Shot number 2 is good. Landrum has cut the lead back down to 1. This one's going to go down to the wire, though. No lead has been safe. Jacob Moore trying to make something happen. Flips it over to 20, and Gonzalez fell over, and they're going to say he was tripped. That is, man, that is a huge break for Landrum there. No foul shots coming up, but they will say that Landrum gets the ball. 2:04 left to go now. Washington taking his time. Flips it outside to Raines, who has had a very quiet second half. Washington going to drive inside, now flipping it back to Raines. If that was a setup, it worked to perfection, and the shot just off the mark. But 20 tried to rebound, it could not. And that's going to give the ball to Landrum. Washington to check in. Gets it over to Raines. Raines trying to set up for 3. Good defense there played by Camden Troyer. And yeah, Washington just lost the ball. Slipped right out of his hand and bounced off his shoe. So Jack Hurst to check in for the Patriots. Under 100 seconds to go in this one. Powdersville up by 1. No need to start trying to foul anybody at this point, but Landrum got to find a way to stop him here. Under 90 seconds now. Hurst, I think Hurst got fouled. And Gonzalez looks to be hurting. Gonzalez is coming off the court with some assistance. Hopefully he's okay. Looks like that left shoulder is bothering him. Until then, he'll be replaced by Noah Weiss. And shot number 1 for Hardy is good. Powdersville extends the lead to 2. It'll still be a one-possession game regardless of what happens here. To make it a 3-point game, he's got it. 52-49, under a minute and a half to go. Washington just, he ran right into number 20. And they're going to call him with a push, it looks like. Or no, they're going to say that's a foul against number 20. So Washington with 2 shots. Shot number 1 is good. The Cardinals have cracked 50. Shot number 2 is good as well. Back down to a 1-point lead for Powdersville. More substitutions for Landrum. That's Colvin Jackson entering the game now. Whoa! That one went straight up. It was batted into the air. It didn't get a number. Impressive defensive play, though. Clock continues to run. Oh, and Powdersville lost the handle on it. Hardy tried to flip it over to Moore, and Moore just wasn't ready. You could see the entire Powdersville bench react in just disbelief there. 68 seconds to go. Landrum with the chance to retake the lead, but we got a whistle. I'm not sure what happened. I think the scoreboard stopped. The entire video board over there has gone out. It appears that the whole little station might have lost power. And the score has been reset. It was 52-51. Yeah, they're having to restart everything. So both teams with a chance to catch their breath here. This certainly an unorthodox timeout. The score's back up. Clock is set. Should be at 108. They've got it at 104. And the fouls, I believe Powdersville had 10 and Landrum had 8. Yeah, I see someone with a pencil down there, so they were probably keeping track too. Yep, Powdersville 10 fouls, Landrum with 8. They're not going to give the Cardinals those 4 seconds back. That could play a role. Under a minute to go. Washington still taking his time. Flips it over to Raines. Now Washington for a long three-pointer. Oh, what a shot! Wow! And Landrum takes a timeout as if to let it set in there for Powdersville. Retaking the lead in dramatic fashion. The bad pass that goes out of bounds. Landrum takes it right down the court and scores. 54-52. What a game. All right, and we're back. Dire straits for both teams now. Powdersville has the ball down by 2 after that beautiful three-point shot from Isaiah Washington. Under 50 seconds to go. This is Camden Schroyer for Powdersville. Didn't cut the tension with a knife in here. Number 20 of Powdersville looking for an opening. Flips it over to Jack Hardy. Now Jack Hardy. Again, Powdersville, I don't think they can make this the last possession of the game. They're certainly trying to burn some clock. 22. Oh, what a shot! Oh my gosh! Wow! And Powdersville retakes the lead. Timeout called by the Patriots now. 25.5 seconds to go. Man, what a shot. So here we go. Landrum will get the ball. Powdersville burned a lot of time off, but this may actually help Landrum if they're able to make this the final possession. Powdersville, I don't know, they look like they're looking for the steal. Under 20 seconds to go. Mason Raines trying to find an open man. Fakes it inside, gets it over to Harmon, and Harmon wanted to go for three, couldn't get it, and did he? Oh man, I thought he got fouled for sure. Landrum wants one, but that might be the nail in the coffin. They say Powdersville ball, and now they just got to foul him. And I think they got Jack Hardy there, I'm not sure. And Landrum did get him. Not in the double bonus yet, so Hardy will get one shot. He can extend the lead out to 56. Or extend the score to 56. The lead will be at 2. And he's got that one. Second shot upcoming to make it a 3-point game. And this one is good as well. Timeout taken. Powdersville takes that one. Want to make sure they have their ducks in a row defensively. 7.1 seconds left in the game. Landrum will get the ball, but they've got to have their best play dialed up. This will more than likely be the last possession for either team. They're going to have to go all the way down the court. I can see that they've got the whiteboard out over there on the bench. Personnel for this final play: Noah Weiss, Mason Raines, Isaiah Washington, Spencer Harmon, and Ethan Dugat. Spencer Harmon will check in, or no, Noah Weiss, excuse me, will check in. Harmon is at half court. Weiss, oh, that might do it. And that is how this one is going to end. Blow it up right at the start. What a way to end it. 59-54 the final. I'm still trying to process all that happened there. I think Weiss just tried to check it in, sent it across the court, and had it batted away. Great job by Powdersville to keep that one in play. And yeah, that's going to do it. Able to tack on one little layup to go toward the point differential when we start tallying everything up to determine a winner of the tournament. Powdersville is 1-0 so far after the first game. Landrum falls to 0-1. And I guess while I digest that ending there, again, what a wild finish to a wild game. But as I digest that conclusion, we'll take a break. Next game set to tip off at 12:30 p.m. Let me double check that. I'm pretty sure it's 12:30. Yes, 12:30, not 12 o'clock, 12:30. Next game tipping off Woodruff and Spartanburg Christian Academy, 12:30. We'll see you then. I can't say that wait was fun, but we've made it through. Less than 5 minutes set until the next tip-off here between Spartanburg Christian Academy and Woodruff in Game 2 of 12 of the Battle at the Border Tournament hosted by Landrum High School in its 21st annual iteration. If you were here for our last game between Landrum and... I can't believe I've already forgotten who it was. Landrum and Powdersville, yes. That was quite a treat. I still can't get over the ending to that one. Landrum was up by as much as 11 early on in the first period, and then Powdersville came all the way back, got it knotted up at 16, and then those two went back and forth the rest of the game. Powdersville's 5-point margin of victory was actually, I think, the biggest lead they had in all of the second half. I mean, neither team could get away from the other. 59-54 the final. Powdersville getting the better of that one, hoping for a matchup that's as good as that one here. And these two teams at least look to be pretty evenly matched from what I've seen. Woodruff is 5-1 coming into this game, and their lone loss came by a single point against BMCC. In the meantime, SCA has played 10 games on the year. They're 8-2, and their lone losses have come against Burns and... pull up the schedule here. It was Burns and then Greenville in overtime on December the 12th. Have not played a game since the 15th. This will be their first one in 13 days. We'll see if that has any adverse effects on their team moving forward. Until then, just under 3 minutes till tip-off in Game 2 here. Woodruff and SCA coming up next. And here we go. Our cameraman has bailed out. I mean, as soon as the buzzer went off to signal that there were 3 minutes waiting until the game, he left. So I'll be doing double duty here for a moment. Tip-off set between Woodruff and Spartanburg Christian Academy. Here we go. Don't have the rosters on me. I'm away from my computer for the moment. We'll have to use numbers until then. Looks like 24 for Woodruff and 21 for SCA. Woodruff in the home whites, SCA in gray. And SCA won the tip, but sent it right to one of the Woodruff defenders. And now Woodruff trying to find an opening. Might have one. 24 looking around. Can't get anything going. Puts it over to 3. Now 4 driving inside. Man, that was a nice pass. And now back outside the paint. 3 for the three-pointer. And no good. Rebounded by SCA. And now the Warriors headed down the court. And I think one of them stepped out of bounds. SCA checks it in. 12 looking for something. Puts it up over to 4. Now flipping back. Alrighty. So now, sent it right underneath the paint. What a play. From straight underneath the goal. That was Lathan Moss notching the first points of the game for the Warriors. 2-0 in favor of SCA. Woodruff almost lost their handle on it there. 1 minute has passed, under 7 now. Woodruff looking for an opening. Long shot from number 24, Diane Bartley, is no good. Rebounded by the Warriors. And now driving inside, now flipping it back to the outside for the bank shot. That was Moss again, couldn't connect this time. And it looked like number 4, Keyshawn Vashi, accidentally sent that one out for the Warriors. 6:38 to go in the first period. Woodruff heading down the court. This is Jonathan West flipping it back over to, there's no number 10 listed, but there is a Nick McConnell floating around, so I'll assume that's him. And SCA is able to sink that, or Woodruff's able to sink that one. 2-2 now. Almost taken away there by Chase Turner of Woodruff, and it is eventually taken away. That's McConnell making his way down the court. And McConnell lost his handle on the ball, so SCA is going to get it. Or no, they're going to keep this one with Woodruff. Shamir Dendy flipping it over to, that was Scott, and then back over to McConnell. Nothing doing anywhere on that one. Rebounded by SCA. Tried to drive underneath the goal and had way too much gas on that one. Just came in too hot. They will retain possession though. Lathan Moss to check in. Moss looking around. He's quick on his feet, maybe a little too quick. They get him for traveling. 5:47 remaining in the first. And taken away by SCA. That was number 21, Sam Wheeler. And now guys falling down from the free throw line. That's number 24, William Thomas. The center able to put SCA back on the board. 4-2, 5:30 to go. Woodruff flipping around, then goes for 3 off the rim. Rebounded by SCA. They have won the rebound battle today. Jonathan West, shooter there for Woodruff, and West gets it back. Nice defensive play there. Got to tie the shoe. And nope, they're going to call it a jump ball and say it goes in favor of Powdersville. Wheeler will check in. Now number 12 for the long 3. He's got it. J.P. Duke. He extends the SCA lead out to 5, up 7-2, with a clear lane to the goal. Oh, he got fouled. That was Zy Scott. Sank the layup and got fouled after the fact, so he'll have a chance to bring this one within 2. Substitutions for SCA. William Thomas subs out. He's replaced by, there's no 25 on the roster. That could be Avery Morris. That was 23, CJ Logan. This is JP Duke flipping it to the outside. That's Vashi, and Vashi sinks the 3-pointer. The SCA lead goes out to 6. That's the highest it's been all day. And Scott, same play. Sank the layup and got fouled. So to bring it right back to a 1-possession game, Zy Scott. And Zy Scott's second free throw is good. 10-3. Duke flips it over to, that's Wheeler. And now it's back to Vashi. Oh, and Vashi had it taken away. There's a scramble for it, and this one goes in favor of Woodruff. Now Zy Scott for another layup. He's got it. Woodruff draws within 1 on the takeaway forced by Jonathan West. Vashi almost had that one taken away too. Shot was blocked, but it was back in his hands. Now working from under the goal is Wheeler. Now Vashi for the 3-pointer, just off the mark. Rebounded by SCA, and they've got it. CJ Logan there. Lead goes back out to 3. Nick McConnell trying to find someone, and it goes out of bounds. Woodruff trying to get something going for the long three-pointer. What a shot! Chase Turner tying it up. Oh, wait, looks like I mistyped. SCA hit a three-pointer somewhere, and I counted it as a two-pointer, so Woodruff does not have the lead yet. It's 12-13 in favor of the Warriors. Now, correction, the game is not tied. SCA has a one-point advantage. And now, Zai Scott going to look to do something about it. As they flip it back to the outside, has West over in the corner. West, good job of staying in bounds. Tries to find a man, goes for Turner, and still bouncing around. Woodruff rebounded it twice, and the third time for charm. Diane Bartley, now Woodruff's in the lead. Wait, I got the scores all mixed up. FCA did have 12 points. My mistake, I was reading the scoreboard incorrectly. It is 15-12. Woodruff did have it tied up. And then hit a three-pointer, so, oh, and a takeaway there by number 14. There are actually two 15s on the roster. I'm going to assume that was Nathan Montjoy. Might have been a typo there. My guess is that that is Nathan Montjoy that has the ball right there. Jonathan West is 15. Now West has it, flips it over to Scott. Scott looking for Montjoy, and Montjoy almost lost it. Back to Scott. Over to West. SCA, that defense is not giving. And we got a turnover here. Yes, we do. SCA headed down the court. Wheeler going to try to, thought about doing it himself, and it's just heaved up and eventually brought back in by the Wolverines. Now Chase Turner from right on the three-point line. How are they going to count this? That's going to be a three-pointer for Woodruff. Woodruff back out by 6. SCA had a 6-point lead earlier this period, under 2 minutes to go, and Woodruff sends that one to no one in particular. Brought back in by the Warriors, and that shot bounces around, eventually goes in. 18-14 now. Man, both teams absolutely flying so far. And, oh, half-court violation against Turner. 89 seconds left in the first period. It's been a good one already. Woodruff up by 4 in a high-scoring affair. JP Duke going to try to find an open man now, flipping it over to number 11 and going all the way across the court. Now Duke for 3, had a man in his face and could not bring it in. Bartley gets it and tried to get it over to Chase Turner, but threw it too hard. Going to be SCA ball. 1:14 left to go in the period. SCA flipping it around, and now back to the outside. This is Lathan Moss. And now from inside the paint, that's number 24, William Thomas, able to sink that one. So SCA clawing their way back into it. 45 seconds to go in the first period. This is Montjoy looking for an opening. And Woodruff trying to use some big bodies to box some people out. They're going to get number 11 for traveling. Marcellus Dial, the guilty party there. (18-16) in favor of the Wolverines. SCA doing what they can to get back into it. 25 seconds left to go in the first period. Still flipping this one around. I suppose they're trying to rotate everyone and find a matchup they like. So far, it hasn't come their way. Now they're just going to send it inside, and this one is off the mark. Rebounded by Woodruff. Bartley going to try and get some points. Oh, nope, he lost his handle on it. Now SCA with a chance to tie it. Oh, and JP Duke lost it. There's a scramble, and that's going to do it. Man, that last shot was way closer than it had any right to be. I didn't see who shot it. They didn't get to set their feet at all. Almost made it. So, we'll be back in 2 minutes. At the end of the first period, Woodruff is up 18-16. Don't go anywhere. This is going to be a good one. All right, both teams on the hunt for some consistent defense. There were a good number of takeaways, but for the most part, both offenses dominated. 18 points on the board for Woodruff, 16 for SCA. Both teams were down by 6 at one point. Woodruff was able to claw their way back in, got the lead. Now SCA trying to overcome a 6-point deficit of their own, and this is going to help. Jonathan West has the ball taken away from him by JP Duke, who drives right inside. And they're going to get Duke with a charging foul. So Woodruff's going to get the ball right back. Jonathan West will check in. It's Nathan Montjoy. Faking out, flips it over to number 11, Marcellus Dial. Now back over to 13 to 15, that's West again. Trying to find some kind of opening. They go for Brantley, and he can't get it. Rebounded by SCA for a moment. It made its way into the hands of Jonathan West, but they blew the whistle afterward. I think they said he stepped out. Lathan Moss checks in for the Warriors. JP Duke going to take it down the court. Driving right to the three-point line, then backing away. Oh, almost had that one taken away. Lathan Moss from the free throw line, no good, but he gets it back. Going to try it again. Nope, sends it inside. This is Wheeler. And flips it over to, that's William Thomas, and we got a tied game. 7:05 left to go in the second period. Driving inside this time is Brantley for Woodruff, and he's got it. The Wolverines crack 20. SCA looking around, trying to find some kind of opening behind that three-point line. They might have one. Nope. And JP Duke short hops it. Rebounded by Marcellus Dial, who wanted to go inside, and Woodruff will retain possession. Had it taken away from him, but I think it went out of bounds afterward. Nathan Montjoy to check in now. Heaving it down the court for number 13. There's no 13 on this roster either. That could be Nick McConnell. And 13 shot was right on the money. Nick McConnell or not, he nailed that. We will work on figuring out which player Nick McConnell is. Again, no number 10 on this roster, no number 13 on this roster. We've seen both of them. And that shot off the mark, brought back in by Dial. This is Brantley, going to drive inside and do it himself. Nice shot. That is Dion Bartley, not Brantley, excuse me. Dion Bartley, the name there. Rasheed checks it inside to Cam Wheeler, and Wheeler can't connect. It's rebounded by Jonathan West, who gets it over to Bartley. Bartley wants to do it himself again, and that one was blocked. Woodruff ball, Montjoy to check in. He gets it over to West, and West just takes the easy shot. SCA gave him that one, and a timeout called by the Warriors. 5:28 left to go in the first half. SCA's got to find a way to stop the bleeding, down 9, the biggest deficit faced by either team Back in 30 seconds. And we are back. We'll see what SCA has drawn up here. JP Duke going to try to get something going for the Warriors. Flips it inside. This is William Thomas. Has that pass batted up and taken away by Woodruff. Chase Turner steps back, takes a shot, off the mark. Rebounded by William Thomas. JP Duke driving down the court, goes right by Chase Turner. Oh, and Turner stole it away! Duke threw it right to him. And now Woodruff with the layup. That's number 12, Happy Lee. And now the Warriors with a double-digit deficit. JP Duke trying to find an opening. Gets it over to Vashi. Back to Duke now. Over to Moss. To Vashi. To Duke. Wanted to go for the three-pointer. Now sends it inside to Wheeler. Back over to Thomas. And Thomas' shot rebounded by Wheeler. And Wheeler finally sinks it to get the Warriors over 20. 4.5 minutes to go in the half. Zy Scott sends it all the way across the court to West, who hands it off to, that was Turner. Couldn't get it. Now Scott for three. Oh my! What a shot! Woodruff up by 12. Looking to make it 14 is Zy Scott, and he dunks it! Man, this has been an impressive offensive and defensive performance from Duke. But I think we got a shooting foul from, I called them Duke. Impressive offensive and defensive performance from Woodruff. Though there is a foul here against William Thomas.
For the Warriors, 24 at the line to shoot, William Thomas.
Thomas listed at 6'6".
First one good.
Shot number one is good. 3:55 to go in the half. And shot number two is off the mark, rebounded by Bartley. Oh, and number 10 almost lost his handle on it. Now looking for an opening, and I think, yeah, traveling. There you go. I thought he took one too many steps, so SCA is going to get this. We got a substitution made now. Number 20, Drayon Quattlebaum in the game now for SCA. He checks it in over to Moss, gets a block from Wheeler. Now Wheeler trying to do it, and has that one tipped and taken away by Woodruff. I think that one might have gotten tipped as well. SCA gets it right back. Quattlebaum now looking for an opening. Catches another block from Wheeler, sends it inside, and from in the paint, no. Rebounded, and yes, CJ Logan there. Number 23 with the persistent shooting from inside the paint, able to draw SCA within 11. They flip this one over to Bartley for three. Another huge shot. 37-23 now. This Wolverine offense absolutely on fire right now. And Moss's shot off the mark, rebounded by Woodruff. Bartley gets it over, makes his way to Scott, and Scott with the three-pointer! And SCA calls another timeout. I don't know if it's a conscious decision on their end or if they're having issues in matchups, but they have left that three-point line wide open. And Woodruff has been nailing them all game. Back in, I'd say 20 seconds, SCA down by 17, 40-23 in favor of the Wolverines. All right, so the last timeout served SCA reasonably well for a few moments, and then Woodruff started to run away with it. We'll see if they were able to get their feet under them this time around. Rasheed sends it inside. That's not going to help. Oh, bounces around. 10 couldn't keep a handle on it. Now going inside, CJ Logan got that one for SCA. Back down to a 15-point lead. Number 10 sends it inside to Bartley. Now Bartley flipping it over to West from inside the three-point line. He's got it. And yep, they're going to count that as a 2-point shot. Back out to a 17-point lead for Woodruff. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half. Lathan Moss gets it over to Rasheed. Inside to Wheeler. Sends it inside to Logan. And Logan got fouled, so he'll have an extra shot coming up. And Woodruff takes a timeout there. I guess they're wanting to let Logan think about it a little bit. 1:46 to go in the first half. Woodruff up by 15. Again, both teams with really, really solid records coming into this one. SCA 8-2 with losses to Burns and Greenville. Meanwhile, Woodruff 5-1, and their lone loss on the year, a 1.67-66 defeat at the hands of BBCA. I don't think I got that acronym right. Let me check it up on it. BMCC, that was it. Brashier Middle College. That's up in BMCC. And that second foul shot is good. Cuts it down to a 14-point game. Now Bartley making a 16-point game just like that. Woodruff's players have just not missed today. Now Vashy for the three-pointer. He sank one earlier, and he sinks this one as well. 44-31. 80 seconds to go in the first half. Zy Scott trying to find an open man. Flips it over to Chase Turner. Now Turner sends it all the way across the court, and 10 lost his handle on it. It'll be SCA ball. Rasheed will check in. Substitution made by the Warriors. CJ Logan is out of the game. He's replaced by William Thomas. JP Duke going to take this one down the court. Will be under a minute to go by the time they shoot this. Whoa, maybe not. Or maybe so. Now we're under a minute. Vashy going for another three-pointer just off the mark. And, man, for a second it looked like the way they batted that one might send it right back into the rim, but it falls out of bounds. They're going to say that, nope, no foul there. It looked like they might line up in one for a second. Cam Wheeler will check in. Nope. Now it's going to be JP Duke. Wheeler, he had a window there himself. He could have taken the three-point shot, didn't. Now JP Duke trying to find an open man. They've got Lathan Moss alone, sending it over to Wheeler. And Wheeler dunks it! Wow! Sam Wheeler listed at 6'5", putting that height to good use. Zy Scott, he sinks that one. Not a dunk, but still 2 points. Wheeler flips it out to Moss, who had all day to set up, just a bit short. And Scott gonna sling it down the court. He had 15 seconds. I'm not sure what the urgency was about, but that's gonna be a turnover. SCA will check in with 13.8 seconds left to go in the half. Woodruff up by 13. Will be below 10. Yep, below 10 now. Moss going to drive inside, flips it over to Duke for three, and Duke, nope, rebounded by Bartley, and Chase Turner going to have one shot just off the mark. So that will bring an end to an exciting first half. An offensive showdown that Woodruff started to pull away from there in the second half of the second period. Up 46-33, taking a 13-point lead into the locker room, back in 10 minutes for second half action between the Woodruff Wolverines and Spartanburg Christian Academy Warriors. All right, so we are back and ready to roll after what was a delightfully short halftime break, or at least it felt quick. Just like most of that first half seemed to just fly by. Both teams going absolutely ballistic on the offensive side of things. It was pretty close for a while, but then Woodruff started to pull away in the second period. And this is not going to help SCA's case. A missed shot by Lathan Moss, taken down the field by Zy Scott. Chase Turner from inside the paint, and he's got the first points of the third period, going in favor of Woodruff. 48-33. The biggest the lead has been is 17. Woodruff's got it at 15 now. Moss flips it out to Duke. Woodruff has done a really good job of closing windows like this quickly. SCA has had open three-point lanes, but for the most part, Woodruff has shut them down. When they have been open, they have gotten in their way in a heartbeat. That was JP Duke getting called for traveling. Woodruff's going to get the ball back. Chase Turner looking for an open man, gets it over to Scott, who gets it to Jonathan West. I don't know how West made that pass across the court. This is number 10 for the long three, can't connect. Good defensive stand there by SCA. And William Thomas can't connect from inside the paint. First minute goes by, only 2 points on the board between both teams, and what a shot there from number 10. Woodruff cracks 50, 51, 33, and SCA taking a timeout already. 6:39 left to go in the third period. So here we go again. SCA looking to find something, hopefully some offensive momentum, I'm sure. At least that's what they're looking for. And defense, not been too hard to come by for Woodruff as of late, and nice turnover force there by SCA. Right back to square one, really, and they're going to roll this one in favor of SCA, I think. And indeed they will. Sam Wheeler to check in. And that one almost taken away. Now from inside the paint, William Thomas, no good. Woodruff rebounds, that's Bartley. Dion Bartley drives inside and turns it over. It is number 20, finally able to sink one. Drayon Quattlebaum for SCA, getting them their first points of the second half. 51-35 now. Chase Turner can't connect, rebounded by Keyshawn Bashy of SCA. Quattlebaum gonna drive inside. Man, sent that one really high up. Can't bring it in. Zy Scott with the rebound. Now over to Chase Turner. Turner flips it over to the outside. Looks like they're trying to set up a three-pointer. And now Turner just gonna cut his losses, goes inside, can't get the layup, rebounded by Dion Bartley. And I think Bartley got fouled. Yes, he did. With a chance to stretch the lead back out to 18. Shot number one is off the back of the rim. Substitutions made for SCA. CJ Logan enters the game. William Thomas checks out. And Bartley's second shot is good, 52-35 in favor of the Wolverines. They send it inside with Wheeler, flips it over to Quattlebaum. Quattlebaum wanted to go for three. JP Duke wanted to go for three as well, but he drives inside and is able to sink one from inside the paint. Down to a 15-point lead. Airmailing it across the court. Woodruff moving quickly for three. Zy Scott, what a shot! Woodruff up to 55 now. JP Duke looking for something, sending it inside with Logan, and Logan has the layup. Zy Scott for another three-pointer, just off the mark, rebounded by Sam Wheeler. SCA's definitely had the height advantage so far, but that time a little too tall for CJ Logan. Woodruff going to get the ball on the SCA side of the court. Brantley to check in. Four minutes and 18 seconds to go in the third period. Brantley trying to find someone, flips it over to number 10. Now over to Scott, who airmails it back to Brantley, back to 10, back to Scott, over to Turner for three, and Turner's off the mark, rebounded by Sam Wheeler. Almost had it taken away, but now he's making his way down the court. Now Quattlebaum for three, nope, but rebounded by Wheeler. He can't connect. I thought that one was going in for sure, but it just rolls out of the rim. Tough luck there for SCA, and three-point shot, no good. Rebounded by Jonathan West, he gets it. 57-39, leads back out to 18, and I think SCA took a timeout there. 3:36 left to go in the third period. Woodruff up by 18, 57-39 the score, back in 20 seconds. All right, and we are back. SCA still looking for some momentum. Only 6 points so far in this period, and they're not going to get any on this possession, doesn't look like. Jump ball. This one will be going in favor of Woodruff, it seems. And indeed, Jonathan West going to check into number 14. Still moving is Woodruff. 14 flips it over to Chase Turner. Turner going to drive inside, tried to go underhanded and falls down. Shot comes up short, foul called against SCA. Turner with the chance to extend this. Oh, excuse me, there are two number 3s on this roster. The man I've been calling Chase Turner is Shamar Dendy. Shamar Dendy, number 3 for the Wolverines. I guess Chase Turner is number 3 on the JV team. And Dendy's shots are good. It's a 20-point lead for the Wolverines. Quattlebaum flips it over to Wheeler, and now all alone, number 11 for SCA, off the mark, but rebounded by JP Duke, and he puts it in, back down to an 18-point lead. 59-41 in favor of the Wolverines. Zy Scott looking for an opening. Flips it over to West, and West is going to shoot it up. Nothing. Rebounded by JP Duke of SCA. Driving inside and tried to get it over to CJ Logan, but Logan was not ready for it. That's going to be a turnover. Dion Bartley to check in. Two and a half minutes to go in period number 3. Dendy flipping it inside to 14. That's Montjoy. And that shot goes off the underside of the backboard. Rebounded by SCA. JP Duke sinks the layup. 59-43 in favor of Woodruff. Under 2 minutes to play in the third now. SCA doing what they can to cut into this lead. Dendy spinning around, takes a step backward just off the back of the rim. Rebounded by Lathan Moss, and that one rolls out of bounds. Timeout taken by Woodruff with 1:46 left to go in the third period. Wolverines up 59-43 when we come back. All right, I want to take a moment to remind everybody about the logistics of the streaming for the next 2 games. The first 2 games of day 1 of this tournament have been streamed on the Landrum channel. After this game, next one tips off at 3:30. That's going to be Riverside versus Boiling Springs. That game and the one at 5:30, Chapman versus Landrum, both of those games are going to be streamed on Chapman's YouTube channel. That is Chapman High School Athletics. Just look that up. Stream should come right up. We're going to go live around 2:45 for that one. So after this game, we're going to cut off the stream on Landrum's channel, come back at around 2:45 on Chapman's channel. That will be where the next 2 games are hosted. Until then, SCA tried to take a shot, couldn't connect. Now Woodruff. Coach telling them to back off, might be looking to burn some clock here. They certainly appear to be taking their time. Now Bartley sends it over to Montjoy, and Montjoy's shot just off the mark. Oh, what a block by Zy Scott! And he stepped out of bounds, but man, I think the momentum alone was enough to justify that. That was one heck of a block. And Bartley looks to be shaken up. And Bartley's back up. Definitely favoring that that left leg. Hopefully he's okay. And word is that it was a calf cramp, so he should be good to go soon. Under a minute now in the third. Moss for the long 3-pointer. No, rebounded by Dial. And Marcellus Dial driving inside. We'll see what they call this against. And they're going to say that foul goes against Woodruff. Both teams have played a very clean game so far. Didn't have many fouls in the first half. Same can be said here. That's only the first foul of the half for Woodruff. 3 for SCA, but that's been it. JP Duke sends it inside. Now flipping it back to the outside with Moss. Moss looking for an opening. Back to Duke. Back to Moss. Back to Duke. Yep, back to Moss. And Moss might have an opening. Nope, just off the mark, and this one is headed out of bounds. They're going to call this one, call it a jump ball. It goes in favor of Woodruff. 19 and a half seconds left to go in the third period. Jonathan West checks it in to Montjoy. Woodruff up by 14. Montjoy driving inside, and they're going to get him with a double dribble. Moss checks it into Duke, under 10 seconds to go now. Flipping it inside with William Thomas, and Thomas is able to notch in some momentum. Zy Scott just going to swing it up. Oh, he didn't get the shot off. Didn't make it either way. 59-47. I forgot to update the scoreboard at some point. Woodruff hanging on to their lead, but SCA doing a good job of cutting into it. 59-47 the score. Wolverines up by 12 when we come back in a few moments.
Convert here. Need 10 for the first down, and Pigram is brought down. Here's the answer.
After the play.
The bench had to make an.
Flag is down. On it, and it's good.
Backs.
He's taking a shot to the end zone, and Colasurdo. Fourth quarter.
All right, and we're back for the start of the fourth period. JP Duke flips it out to Moss. Now Moss back to Duke. They've done this a lot. Yep, back to Moss, and he'll send it back to Duke probably. Nope. From inside the paint, no good. Rebounded by William Thomas. And Thomas from inside the paint, he can't connect, and that one sent out of bounds, it looks like. SCA will hang on to the ball, and just a little alley-oop there for Sam Wheeler. Lead goes down to 10. SCA coming back into this one. 59-49, and a rebound there by JP Duke. Goes for the layup, overshoots it, and it's eventually rebounded by Jonathan West of the Wolverines. Zion Brantley taking his time, getting down the court for Woodruff. Now the Wolverines moving quickly. Zy Scott driving inside, got it. Woodruff up over 60 now. Oh, and Duke sent it off the shoe of a defender. And they'll keep it with SCA. Lathan Moss will check in. And Duke catches a block from Wheeler, or that was Thomas. The ball made its way over into the hands of Wheeler, but they get him with a traveling call. 6:43 to go in the fourth period. Woodruff up by 14. 12, excuse me. Jonathan West thought about going for three, decides not to. Zy Scott gonna try to do it. And Scott's got it. Now Woodruff up by 14. 63-49. SCA looking to crack 50 here. Dreyon Quattlebaum overshot the three-pointer, and there's a jump ball. This one will go in favor of Woodruff. And looks like the officials can't decide if it's a jump ball or not. And they'll give it to Woodruff. Everyone making their way down the court now. West looking for an opening. Zy Scott for three. What a shot. Zy Scott has been absolutely lights out today, and a timeout called. I believe that was by SCA. So just like that, they had this within reach. It was a 10-point game, and Woodruff has since put up 6 unanswered, 66-49. Wolverines now up by 17. Back in a moment.
What else you want? Turnover on downs. The Georgia State defense swarms, smothers. He's taking a shot to the end zone. He's taking a shot to the end zone. And Colasurdo throws a touchdown. Kadarius.
So here we go. Down by 17 with 6 minutes and 11 seconds to go in the game. SCA looking for a major comeback. We'll see if it starts with Lathan Moss on this possession. He gets it over to Dreon Quattlebaum. Quattlebaum tries to send it inside, and that's not going to work. Over to Zay Scott. Oh, and he lost it. Pass from West goes out of bounds. Scott unable to corral it, so back to square one for SCA. 5:59 left to go in the game. And a little cat and mouse here. Trying to find some kind of opening. They're going to send Wheeler to the inside for the layup, and it rolls in. SCA is up over 50. Leads back down to 15. SCA's had it as low as 10 in this half. Jonathan West going to drive inside now. Oh, tried to send it over to Scott, and Scott somehow got it back, but it's blocked, and there's a jump ball. This one's going to go in favor of SCA. SCA doing a lot of flipping around so far. Quattlebaum sends it inside to Wheeler. He's been their most reliable scorer all game, and they say he got fouled there. He'll have a chance to cut the lead down to 12. Only the second foul of the game against Woodruff, or of the half, I should say. Very clean game again by both teams. That one off the mark, brought in by Zy Scott. And Scott looks like he's taking a breather there. Now flips it outside to West. West gonna look for an opening. That's Scott again. And Scott, you can tell he's wanting to go for that three-pointer. Sends it off the shoes of an SCA defender, and Woodruff's gonna hang on to the ball, it looks like. Dendy for the long three-pointer. This one off the mark. It'll be SCA ball with 4:42 left to go. Warriors down by 13, not out of reach. They've got plenty of time, but they got to find some consistency on offense, and that's not going to help. Dendy has that one, just snatches it out of the air. And the officials trying to figure out where this one's going to go. And Woodruff will hang on to the ball. Jonathan West going to drive inside for Woodruff and lost his handle on it for a moment. Zy Scott got it, thought about going for three, flips it outside, and now back in the hands of Scott. Looking to do something. SCA's defense sound on this possession. And driving inside, no, rebounded by Sam Wheeler. Wheeler sends it inside to William Thomas. Thomas' shot no good. And that one's just heaved down the court. Ill-advised throw there from Dendy into the arms of Drayon Quattlebaum. And Quattlebaum got fouled on that shot, so he'll have 2 free throw attempts. .351 left in the game. Quattlebaum's first shot is good. Lead goes down to 12. Can he make it an 11-point game? Indeed he can. 66-55 in favor of Woodruff. SCA starting to make their way back into this one. Just a little over halfway through the final period. Woodruff doing a lot of shifting. You can see that outstretched arm of Wheeler. SCA definitely looking for a steal. They're not going to get one there, but they will get, nope, they won't get a turnover. Or in a roundabout way, I suppose they do. Time does come off the clock, but SCA is going to get the ball back. 3:19 left to go. SCA is down by 11. They can make it an 8-point game with the successful 3-point attempt here. Moss drives it inside, and now Quattlebaum thought about going for 3, and they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. Lathan Moss taking a practice shot there. SCA is going to hang on to the ball. 3:06 remaining now. Still down by 11. JP Duke trying to get out of that block. And Wheeler, no good from inside the paint. Rebounded by Shamir Dendy. Zai Scott flips it to West, who flips it back inside to Dendy. What a shot from Dendy! And a timeout called by SCA, it looks like. Under 3 minutes now, 2:49 remaining. Woodruff up by 13, 68-55 the score. Back in a moment. Under 3 minutes to play now. SCA still down by 13. Taking their time getting across half court. They're going to airmail this one and still moving around inside to Thomas, and Thomas has the layup. Lead goes back down to 11. Shamir Dendy drives it inside, sends it over to West, and West has that shot partially blocked. Somehow gets it back, and with another chance as West, he's got to get out of this and has it taken away. And they're going to call that a jump ball, and Woodruff looks like they're going to hang on to this one. Zion Bartley has re-entered the game after that leg cramp. Good to see him back on the court. And Dendy fell over as he was shooting that one, rebounded by SCA. Just over 2 minutes to go in this one. That first shot no good, rebounded by SCA. Jump ball, that one's loose and taken away by Woodruff. And got a whistle, I'm not sure what that was about. think they're going to call SCA for some kind of push. 1:56 to go in the game. SCA down by 11. In dire straits now. Bartley gets it over to Zy Scott. He's out a big game. Scott from inside the three-point line, no. Couldn't get much heat on that throw. And he was fouled. With 1:47 left in the game, he's got a chance to stretch the lead back out to 13. First shot off the mark. William Thomas checks out of the game for the Warriors. Entering is Sam Wheeler. And Scott's second foul shot is no good as well. And Lathan Moss with the long three, rebounded by Bartley, no good. Just over 90 seconds to go. And a fancy pass there to Dendy, and they're going to call Dendy for traveling. So the SCA is going to get it right back. Still just a 4-possession game. Vashy getting ready to check in for the Warriors. Wheeler driving inside, flips it over to Lathan Moss, who sets up for the three. That one is no good. Right into the arms of Dion Bartley. So they're going to say that Dendy got fouled there. Play was dead after the whistle blew, even though Bartley caught that rebound and pushed it in afterward. 2 shots coming up for Dendy. With a chance to extend the lead out to 13. Shot number 1 is good. And now Vashy checks in for the Warriors. Trayon Quattlebaum exits the game. 69-57 now. And shot number 2 is off the mark, rebounded by Sam Wheeler of SCA. Vashy gonna go for 3, and that one off the mark, but rebounded by CJ Logan. And it looks like Logan got fouled there. 49 seconds to go in this one. SCA down by 12. Logan can make it a 10-point game if he sinks these. Shot number 1 is good. Shot number 2 is good as well. 69-59. Still a 4-score game. SCA got to force some turnovers. And Jonathan West from inside the paint, that might do it. Woodruff cracks 70, up to 71 now. And Lathan Moss from inside the paint, off the mark and rebounded by Woodruff. Brantley lost his handle on it, brought back in by Vashy, gets it to Wheeler, and Wheeler sinks that one. SCA over 60, and Brantley just airmailed that one and got it over to Dendy. Dendy sinks the layup, and under 10 seconds to go, Woodruff is going to take home their first victory of this tournament by, can't say the margin quite yet, it's going to be 73-63. And who knows, those last 2 points there by SCA could be the difference if we have to go to tiebreakers. Riley Markham scoring the last 2 points there for the Warriors, but too little too late. Woodruff wins it by 10 in an exciting game. 73-64, actually. 73-64 the final score there. Woodruff takes home the victory. Now, quick PSA for all of you watching. There are 2 more games slated for today. Those taking place at 3 p.m. and 5:30. Those games are going to be streamed on the Chapman Athletics channel. We're running some analytics tests. We just want to see whether or not the Chapman or Landrum channels get more views on basketball games, because so far they've been pretty even. There hasn't been much difference between them. We just want to see if there's any concrete difference. This is our little science experiment, if you will. So those next 2 games are going to be streamed on Chapman's channel. That is going to be Riverside versus Boiling Springs at 3 o'clock, and then Chapman versus Landrum at 5:30 p.m. Those are not going to be on this channel. We're going to shut down this stream in a moment. We will see you over on Chapman's channel for the afternoon slate of games. We'll see you soon.